Hello, you're listening to Hugo Talks. Okay, here's a curious one for you. Sex Pistol artist has created a giant double anarchy symbol from wildflowers in a British garden. Now, this British garden is called the Lost Gardens of Heligan. It's a visitor attraction in the UK. Loads of gardens, belongs to an estate. There was a TV show about it years ago and how they restored it. The estate belonged to a generation of politicians and barons. And you know the score, I would imagine all of them are Freemasons. Okay, it says here, the Lost Gardens of Heligan in Cornwall in the United Kingdom has revealed its new floral wildflower designed by Jamie Reid. Jamie Reid is the guy who created all of that, the Queen, Sex Pistols artwork, you know the score. And it says here, he has created 11 acres of glorious wildflowers. But also within that 11 acres, he has also put this massive symbol in the field, yeah? This symbol here, a strange looking symbol, no? It's huge. And you can walk through this symbol. As you can see here, there are flowers throughout. As you can see how big it is by the size of the cars in this picture. So people can walk through this, walk within the symbol. Here it is at an angle. Now this looks familiar to me. In fact, especially if you look at it at an angle. It looks like this, doesn't it? In fact, it's exactly the same, minus the little circles. So where is this from? Well, it's a sigil. It's a satanic sigil that represents Saturn and also the demon Azazel. It says here the name Azazel is most commonly used as a reference to Satan or a fallen angel. It says here, by drawing the sigil of Azazel or a symbol, it can be used for magical purposes of the devil, it says here in Supernatural Wiki. So it says Azazel is a satanic fallen angel. It says here, Azazel is a fallen angel whose evil influence led to the corruption of humanity. Because he was a leader among the fallen angels, the Jewish Book of Enoch commands its readers to ascribe all sin to him. Okay, fair enough. So a sigil for Satan in the Lost Gardens of Heligan. A big sigil for a satanic fallen angel where families and kids are going to be walking through. Surely not. There must be some mistake. Must be, yeah? I must have gotten the wrong end of the stick. Let's look at this article some more. It continues. This project by the Sex Pistols artist, it says, the project is named Over. It's supposed to represent a shared and ancient bond with the earth, nature and the seasons, which Heligan believes are deeply meaningful to their gardens. So hold on. Whoa. It says the project named Over is supposed to represent a shared and ancient bond with the earth. It's supposed to represent. So it's not really representing it. It's only supposed to. I mean, that's what it says. It continues. Alistair Moore, head of Gardens and Estates, said, "We are so pleased to have had the opportunity to work with the artist Jamie Reid. The Over symbolises the eightfold year, and to have Jamie's design quite literally rooted in Heligan soil is a beautiful thing." Jamie Reid said, Over symbol representing rebirth and growth and healing, and encompasses the points of the eightfold year, the solstices, the equinoxes, which will be revealed throughout the year at Heligan. We hope it will be a good excuse for everyone, for friends and family to come together at the Over and take a stroll through the eightfold year in bloom. So the artist says this symbol in the garden, in this 11 acres, is supposed to represent the eightfold year. Now, if you go into Google Images and you type eightfold year, well, you get this. I mean, you get some symbols, but I'm not seeing anything like the symbol that's in the field. I'm seeing a lot of wheels, really, like symbols. I mean, Rotarian looking symbols, yeah? I'm not seeing the sigil that is actually in the field. No? I mean, they say this is a symbol for the eightfold year. They do say it is Jamie's design, right? So, a design, but it looks nearly exactly the same as the sigil for Azazel, a satanic fallen angel, and Saturn. Yeah, it looks more like that to me. Interestingly enough, this is a symbol this artist uses a lot in his artwork, his political artwork, as you can see here. And he also uses it in his signatures. Also, he uses another sigil. This one, you can see it at the top, right at the top here of this artwork. Now, this one looks to me very like the Aleister Crowley Thelema sigil, which is this one here. Apparently, this sigil that he is using is called the unicursal hexagram, and it has different dimensions, I suppose, but effectively it's the same. And it's all over the political artworks he does, and on some of the clothing merchandise he sells. So, I don't know what's going on here. Have they put a satanic sigil representing Saturn and Azazel, a demon, in 11 acres of the gardens of Heligan for families to walk through? I mean, they claim it's a symbol for the eightfold year, but it doesn't look like that at all. It looks like this sigil for Satan. Yeah? Now, looking at this article, it also states that the project was led by Heligan, John Marchant Gallery, the Sensory Trust, okay, and the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids, alongside the National Wildflower Centre. So, there's one there that sticks out. Who are the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids? So it says here the OBOD are a neo-Druid organisation. Druids, yeah, this type of carry-on. These are the people. So this Druid organisation, along with Heligan Gardens and some other organisations, put this together, put this big sigil that to me looks like the sigil for the satanic demon called Azazel in 11 acres of fields and flowers for people and families to walk around in and through. So, Druids. It says here, Druids, sometimes termed Druidism, is a modern spiritual or religious movement that promotes the cultivation of honourable relationships with physical landscapes. They share spiritual and devotional practices, meditation, prayer, conversation with deities and spirits. It says that the most common concurrently practiced religious traditions reported among Druids were Buddhism, Christianity, shamanic traditions, and witchcraft stroke Wicca. So did you notice that bit about witchcraft or Wicca at the end? These are the people that helped to make this sigil appear in the 11 acres of Heligan Gardens. Now, if you go to the OBOD, the Order of Bards, Ovates and Druids website, the Druids, it comes across they don't like to be associated with witchcraft and Satanism, okay? Or at least black magic and Satanism. Here on this page, witch and druid, it says the words witch and druid are loaded words. It says some people think at once of sorcery and Satanism. These negative images of witchcraft and druidry come mostly from the scaremongering of fundamentalist Christian groups and from the tacky products of the movie and publishing industries. It then goes on to say it's a misconception that druids and witches practice Satanism. Okay, alright, fair enough, but at the same time, they say that Ross Nichols, who founded this druid organisation, and Gerald Gardner were the two seminal thinkers who developed druidry and witchcraft for the modern era. Okay, now Gerald Gardner, this is the guy here, yeah, this fella, he's sitting in a circle prodding what looks like a burnt devil monkey, yeah. This fella, he wrote this. This book here is called The Book of Shadows, and it's a book containing religious text and instructions for magical rituals found within the neo-pagan religion of Wicca. So he wrote this book. It says, Gerald Gardner, the father of Wicca, first introduced the Book of Shadows to people that he had initiated into the craft through his briquet wood coven. That's a coven of witches in the 1950s. I think they're still going now. He claimed that it was a personal cookbook of spells that have worked for the owner. They could copy from his own book and add material as they saw fit. He said that the practice of witches keeping such a book was ancient and was practiced by the witch cult throughout history. The book features sections based upon the rituals of the Ordo Templi Orientis, which had been devised by the occultist Aleister Crowley. Gardner had gained access to these rituals in 1946 when he had purchased a charter from Aleister Crowley, giving him permission to perform the OTO rituals. Okay then, and yet they say on their page it's a misconception that Druids and witches practice black magic and Satanism. Okie dokie then, okie dokie if you say so. So yeah, Druids, the Gardens of Helligan and the artist for the Sex Pistols have put this massive 11-acre symbol, Sigil, on their tourist attraction for families and children to walk around in. A symbol they claim represents the eightfold year, but doesn't look anything like it, but looks very much like the satanic sigil for Saturn and a satanic demon called Azazel. So there you go. I don't know. What do you think? Am I going crazy? Because sometimes people suggest I am. They say, "You're reading too much stuff into this," they say. Didn't they just do a big ceremony for the Commonwealth Games where they worshipped a giant horned beast? They were holding up lights in their hands, lights that had fallen from the stars earlier on in the ceremony on the TV show, against a backdrop of a flaming tower of Babel. Didn't they just burn a giant lotus flower at Glastonbury full of the memories of the dead in a ritual? And that rapper, he wore a crown of thorns with blood pouring down his head at the end of the Glastonbury festival whilst on a pyramid stage. I mean, I could go on with many more examples. I mean, don't the Lucis Trust, the Lucifer Publishing Trust, the Spiritual Foundation for the United Nations, don't they say on their website that they spend weeks in preparation doing invocations, invoking spirits for the big G8 meetings around the world and the World Economic Forum conventions? You know, it's all out there in the open. But witchcraft and all of that, it's all mumbo jumbo, isn't it? Nah, it's all just a coinky dink. I'm just making something out of nothing. Nothing to see here now. Move on, okay? Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. And if you haven't already, come and subscribe to the website hugotalks.com so I can notify you of video uploads as opposed to relying on third parties and social media platforms. I'm trying to be self-sufficient in an online way, okay? Thanks for listening, and I'll see you later.